Hello everybody, it's really good to meet up with you now. I hope you're all really well, coping with different circumstances that we've been given, particularly having your children around you all the time, which is lovely but challenging as well. So I just wanted to start the practice with a little bit of an inward awareness, meditation practice. I've been reading a little bit in the mornings when I've had a chance, a book by Krishnamurti, and he talks about meditation as being one of the greatest arts, but he also says it's something that comes from yourself. It's not something that really can be taught, particularly it has to be basically yourself really aware of yourself, attentive to everything that you do, every action that you make, every thought that you think, everything that you eat. It's a living thing. It's just a living thing. So you're really noticing every moment, being in this moment here, being here now, in this place. So that every thought that arises, you're noticing it. You're not trying to judge yourself. Just whatever you're thinking, that's okay. Whatever emotions you're feeling, no negative or positive, everything is valid and good. That's fine. And just, so if we just start with the practice, if we just make sure that we're sitting comfortably, so you can be cross-legged like this, your hands on your knees, sit kneeling, or you can sit on a chair, it's up to you, whatever's best for you. Try to lengthen your spine, but you're sitting quite comfortably, so you're quite relaxed. You can move around if you want to, you don't need to be stock still. And just finding your breath. So maybe lowering your gaze, or even closing your eyes, if that helps you to focus inwards. And just saying to yourself, however I'm feeling, that's okay. So how are you feeling? How are you? How's your breath? How fast or slow is your breath? Where can you hear your breath? Where can you feel your breath? You can feel it coming in through the nose, to the chest, down to the belly perhaps. You notice the length of the in-breath and the length of the out-breath. And perhaps notice the pause at the end of the out-breath and the natural pause at the end of the in-breath. What can you notice about your thoughts? Have you got any thoughts buzzing around in your head? It's quite normal, quite natural. Our minds do tend to do that. Can we just try to recognise those thoughts? Be really attentive towards them. And then by noticing them, gaining awareness of them and acceptance as well. Create a little bit more space. We can just notice that our thoughts are usually something that's happened in the past, or something that's about to happen in the future, or might not even have happened. Can we just bring our thoughts to what's happening now, what's here, in this room, and now, in this moment. And our emotions, feelings are very similar, very linked with our thoughts. What are we feeling right now? Whatever we're feeling is perfectly valid. We accept that feeling as part of us. We notice the breath again. And as we're observing the breath, you might find an awareness of how you're feeling, how your body's feeling. It's usually very linked to your breath. And if your mind wanders at any time, just if you'd like to give it a little task to help it to focus on the here and now by fixing it onto the breath, following the breath, being very, very observant, attentive towards the breath. You might want to place your hands on your belly. Inhale deeply through the nose. And you feel the belly expand like the swell of a wave. And on the exhale, expel the air from the belly through the nose, drawing your belly in towards the spine. And just continuing like this for a few more breaths. Just deep belly breathing. Now you might benefit from placing your hands in the rib cage. And the next in breath, filling in the belly as before, just drawing in a little bit more air all the way up towards the rib cage area. Letting the rib cage expand, and on the exhale, releasing the air through the nose, from the chest, and then the belly. Just continuing like this. Belly, and the rib cage expand. And as you breathe out, feeling the rib cage slide back, belly sink back. Again, breathing in and out. Just a few more times. And now you might want to just place your hands onto the collarbone, if that's helpful. And on the next inhale, draw in the air to the belly and the rib cage. As before, but this time just drawing in even more air all the way up to the upper chest, all the way up to the collarbone, causing the area around the heart to rise and expand. And as you breathe out, and the air and the heart sinking, and the ribs sliding back together, the belly sinking back down. And then just breathing like this for a few more times. 3-part breath. Belly, rib cage, heart, rib cage, belly. And just returning to your more usual pattern of breathing. Maybe giving a sigh out, releasing any tension with the out breath. And if you've got your eyes closed, just rubbing your hands together, creating a little bit of warmth. And then when the hands are a little warm, just closing them over your eyes, taking the fingers apart, blinking your eyes open, letting in the light, and just drawing the hands back down. I'm just going to start physical practice, lying on the mat in constructive rest. So your knees are bent, and your feet are just a little bit away from your body, about hip width apart. Okay. You might want to create a little pillow with a blanket under your head. And just placing our hands onto our pelvis, just rocking backwards and forwards. This area around our pelvis. We're drawing our tailbone down towards the mat. And our navel comes up, so we're arching our back with the in-breath. And with the out-breath, drawing the navel behind the belly button, down towards the mat as we lift the tailbone slightly off the mat. So it's very similar to the breathing that we were doing just before, the 3-part breath. And it's a very slight movement, working with the breath, letting the breath support this movement, just rocking the pelvis backwards, forwards. So breathing in, you might have a little gap underneath your back. Breathing out, your back flattens towards the mat. The tailbone lifts very slightly. Get your hands out to the side, or you can place your hands on the belly. Whatever's useful for you. And then returning to neutral spine. Just taking the knees up towards your chest. Placing your hands onto your knees. You're just going to circle your knees both together in one direction. Noticing the parts of your back which are meeting the ground. As you're doing that, so you feel the pelvis meeting the ground in different areas. Giving yourself a little massage, your lower back massage, and then changing direction. How does your back feel right now? Does this feel good? And then taking the knees apart, toes staying together, big toes, and drawing the knees up towards your chest. Then taking them apart as they come away, together as they come towards you. Again, letting the breath support this movement. And then changing direction. And then lowering feet down onto the mat, coming back into this constructive rest, we call it. It's very good for your lower back, if you have any back issues. It just helps all the muscles that support the back really relax and release. Taking the hands out to the side, just going to drop the knees down to one side, breathe out as you drop the knees. And breathe in as you draw the knees back up. And breathe out. Drop the knees onto the other side. And then coming back to neutral. I'm just going to rock pelvis again, backwards and forwards. And this time, placing the hands down by the side, pushing the feet into the mat, keeping the knees quite close together. Just going to draw the pelvis right up off the mat, coming up, taking the back off the mat, vertebrae by vertebrae. And as we breathe out, lowering down, zipping back down, vertebrae by vertebrae, rocking forwards, and coming back up. As high as is good for you. Might not be very high at all, might just be a little bit off the mat. One more time. Breathing in and out. Now just taking the knees back up to your chest. Really give them a little hug in. A bit of a squeeze. That feels good. And then just do what we call barrel rolls. Just breathing it in and then out. Coming all the way over to one side. Breathing in. The one leg and then the other. All the way over. Breathing in. And out. Breathing in. And out. Breathing. And out. And then this time I'm just going to stretch out the top leg, the top arm. Really stretching out that side body. And draw the knee back in. Hand on top. And all the way over to the other side. Do the same on the other side. Stretching out. Draw the knee back in. And hugging back in to the centre. You can give yourself one circle in each direction. And then lowering down. And just swiveling the hips from side to side. And as we do that, we can just make that movement a little bit slower. And we're shortening at one side of the back of the body. Just draw the shoulder and the hip closer together. And then flipping over onto the other side. And then we're going to come up to seated. So we can either rock and roll all the way up to seated, or we can roll over to one side, place our hands onto that, pushing ourselves up to seated. Again, just going to breathe in, arching back, lifting the sternum up. Breathe out, rounding the back, drawing our head down. Breathing in, arching, breathing out, rounding. Breathing in to come back to neutral. And taking the hands onto the mat. The hand up over the head. Breathing in and out. We're coming to the side stretch, so we're drawing the elbow closer to the ground. Trying to keep both hips rooted to the ground. Breathing in, let's come back to the centre. Swapping the hands over. Breathing in. To stretch up and out. To lower down. Take a couple of breaths. And breathing in. Stretch your hands up. Down. Oh, that feels good. And just giving your shoulders a little wiggle. Pushing them up and back. And maybe bring in, rolling back, opening out. Going forward, up, back. Take the hands together. Just lifting one elbow and then the other. Taking the elbows closer together. Lifting one elbow and then the other. Changing direction. And then placing them back down into the mat. Taking your hands behind you. And just opening the chest again, looking up to the ceiling. The sky from outside. Taking the hands in front of you.